All right, there's kind of two parts here. There's China and there's the World Health Organization. Let's start with China first. Congressman, do
Sure.
you believe that China should pay reparations to nations around the globe for their lies, their cover-ups, and the spread of this pandemic?
There are several ways that China needs to pay. First and foremost, we need to get our manufacturing back from China into the United States, especially for those critical, PPE and our supply chain for medications. I mean, that needs to happen. And yeah, I think that there are more people today suffering through COVID-19 because the Chinese failed. In fact, it would appear they even hid the truth about it. Physicians that have said and raised the issue disappeared. The chief of the emergency department, one of the emergency departments there, who raised the issue in Wuhan, they can't find her now. So all of this stuff, yeah, China. China has to pay for this, the impact that it's caused on the world for the actions that it's taken.
Okay, and so I think a lot of the American people, I agree with you, by the way, sir. I think a lot of the American people are sometimes skeptical when politicians call for accountability, because oftentimes that means a slap on the wrist to a foreign nation in the interest of diplomacy. So what should actually happen besides just congressional hearings and an investigation? How should China pay in a way that both makes it up to the people that they've victimized, but also hurts them to disincentivize them from doing this again?
Sure. One of the things that we did just today, sent a letter to the leadership of both the House and the Senate. Any sort of phase 4 of the relief or stimulus needs to include language that basically tells businesses in the United States who have operations in China, you can do 100% expensing of the cost when you move from China back to the United States. That's one way they pay. But honestly, we need to consider, right now, the United States China has invested in our T-bills. They have invested in our T-bills, and it's sort of like a bank. You have a savings account in a bank and you have a mortgage with the bank. And if you don't pay your mortgage, they'll take your savings account. So we obviously need to consider, and there are tons of different options out there, delaying debt payments, those kinds of things. We need to have a conversation about what we do to recoup our losses that have been caused because China failed to notify the world about this virus.